Hey, everybody. Happy to be hosting another webinar, and I've got some awesome guests with us today. We're going to cover some social media things and get all sorts of good perspectives, that from a photography business owner and coach, and then a social media expert, Lindsay with Ritch Reps, who runs a social media marketing company and works with all sorts of different businesses, but has a lot of clients that are in the real estate photography world. So, Lindsay, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. The day's going good, all smooth. Oliver, how's it going, man? It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
life is
right.
good. Life
I know.
is
I think
good.
oh, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm avoiding all the horrible winter right now. I'm down in Costa Rica, and it's amazing. The only problem we have is like power outages and crazy winds. But yeah, I'm like a very happy Canadian right now. Yeah,
For sure.
That's awesome.
What is the weather back home right now?
Celsius like minus 15, minus 20, like snow over top of the car. Yeah, it's a daily dig out. It's vicious.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's no good. That's like
Yeah,
minus 30 or something like that in Fahrenheit. That's my
yeah,
ballpark. Somebody
yeah.
out there is going to correct me and say what it actually is, but that's okay.
We'll just
Uh,
say it's cold. It's very
yeah,
cold.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
brutally cold.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think the last time you and I connected was on the Rachel and Neil podcast,
That's right.
right? Growing
Yes.
with Rachel and
Yeah.
Neil. That was a good time. That was fun right after PMRE. So yeah, it's good to see you
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. You as well.
Well, I think let's kick something off. So first, I wanted to let you guys know and just double check that you guys know and the audience that, right, we're going to be talking a lot around the marketing kit today and particularly the digital aspect. But recently at the beginning of the year, we introduced listing booklets, which are pretty awesome. So we
Mm-hmm.
have brochures that are 4 pagers. Anybody that was at PMRE got to hold and touch these. It's
Yeah.
really sort of a different experience to be able to take the marketing kit and turn it into something that people can hold, your agents can hold and see. Having examples of this and showing them, like, hey, this can be a really nice piece of marketing for you to add, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just different when there's something for them to touch, particularly if you're out at a broker presentation or if you're sponsoring a local event to have a couple samples. It's awesome. We have 4 page designs that are great for just kind of printing on a double-sided 11 by 17 through Vistaprint, and we also have some 8 page designs in there, again through Vistaprint, which makes it super easy and the quality turns out great. Particularly if you
Yeah.
choose the premium paper, it looks awesome. But even not the premium paper, I did order some samples of each just to make sure that they were looking good, and pretty excited about it. But
I make, I want to say
okay.
too, I'm super excited because that was, I think, the number one thing agents were asking me for last year. They had their own providers, but they were really looking for a one-stop shop. And for me, I didn't want to take on the headache of designing. I always try to keep everything like really streamlined. I do not like a la carte services for scaling. And so having this inside HD Photo Hub is like money.
Yeah, we were starting to see quite a bit of demand. We were having a lot of business owners reaching out for the agents that did have their own templates, be like, hey, is there any way you can add this into the system, like this template that my agent's using? And sometimes we can do like a custom quote on those, but we would get them and be like, man, it's like it's all right, like it looks okay, but we know that our team could produce something that looks like amazing, like magazine quality and ready to present that home in the best light. And it was, they turned out great. We're super excited about them. I have a
Yeah.
little tease too. We're going to add another physical piece to the marketing kit here coming soon, which is some postcards. So we'll have
Oh,
some good
cool.
postcard templates in there. We'll kind of see how that goes and what kind of feedback we get. But that's another one, as like starting as a digital company, it wasn't like, man, we really need to go and make a lot of physical media. But the feedback that we're getting from business owners, through their agents is, hey, we're looking for some of this physical stuff because we still use it and it still works out in the marketplace. And
Yeah.
so, we're just kind of following the needs of the market and making it work. So pretty stoked. I've got a sneak peek of some of the designs and they look just awesome. Of course, our team does a magnificent job on that. So pretty stoked.
Sweet.
But enough about the physical stuff. Let's talk about the digital stuff. So, we're lucky enough to have Lindsay with us today. She lives in this world all day long, every day for a variety of different businesses and gets to look at all of the best practices and all of the stuff. Lindsay, you've got some stuff that you want to share and just kind of walk. We're going to walk the audience through some really updated information on social media, how it's working this year. Go ahead. You can intro it the rest of the way. I don't want to talk anymore about it. Go for it.
Well, I do want to touch on the booklets and the postcards. I do work with some real estate agents as well. Work with a lot of different industries, and they are still very much needing that. They are having to like use this system for this or this login or something like that, this software, and everything's just right here. The pictures are right there. I was in there earlier today. It's super easy to edit, so very, very lucky, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. I do have a couple slides here, not to bore you with slides, but
I
the
love slides.
information, what's that?
Said I love slides.
Yay. Okay, cool. Well, real quick, my name's Lindsay. I own a digital marketing agency. We do a lot of social media. We also do a lot of SEO, websites, graphics, all that kind of fun stuff. I do work with a lot of different industries. I work with a lot of real estate photographers because my previous job before doing this, I was a marketing consultant for a real estate platform. So I love work, actually was a real estate photographer at one point as well. So I have a lot of respect for what y'all do. It's not easy. So I get it. But if there's a one thing, we're going to talk a lot about social media today, a lot about the algorithm, so you can kind of feel confident in what you're doing. And when you're out talking to agents, I find a lot of people just aren't comfortable or confident talking about it. So hopefully some of these things are going to help, and then you building your own brand and your own content. Okay, like I said, the number one thing, if you take away anything from today, is that you already have all the content that you need to make an amazing social media plan. And so do your agents, but I'll talk for your businesses. So again, I work with a lot of, med spas, chiropractors, real estate agents, law offices. There's a lot, and they have to hire someone weekly or monthly or hire someone like me to come get that content for them. Whereas you have everything you need. If you're doing even one or two shoots a week, you have plenty of content for a while to do stuff with. So maybe that's a little motivation. Just keep that in mind that you're in a very great spot to use all the great content that you're taking every day. And not to mention the marketing kit. Ian's not giving me any money to say this, but I just cannot get enough of the marketing kit. I talk about how amazing it is. It blows my mind when people don't use it because, again, I do this social media stuff all day long, every day, and this is like a gold mine of content that is just at your fingertips, easy to edit. You don't have to bring your high quality images in something like Canva or something else. It's already there for you. So what I find is that if people aren't using it, they're either having a hard time understanding how to use it or getting their agents to use it as well. But I just cannot say enough good things about the marketing kit. I think people probably think I'm weird how much I talk about it, but it just blows my mind when people don't use it in the nicest way possible. So next, oh, the second thing today, if you remember anything, remember the first thing, you already have all the content that you need. The second thing is about social media. So you can do all the prepping, you can sit on the webinars, you can read the books, you can do all the things, but if you aren't going to actually do it and stay consistent with a plan, it's not going to work. And I know that seems like such a simple concept, but I really would suggest either making a plan and sticking with it or hiring out or hiring someone on your team. Not just getting someone on your team when they have a free moment to make a post. You need to hire them for their time, or you set aside X amount a month or week to do this social media content. And I have these containers over here because I'm guilty of buying a lot of organizing containers, but then they just kind of sit there and they don't get stuff in them to organize. So again, you can buy all the workshops, all the webinars, all the books, and you can prep all you want like this. But if you don't actually do something and stay consistent, then it's just not going to work. Oliver, you got to agree with that.
100% agree with that. And that is why the marketing kit is so essential. Because I think for real estate agents, you're right. We have all the content, and it's a really easy way to repurpose that content and to have a consistent posting schedule. Like real estate agents, I always suggest to them also they want to put their own personality into it. So that's almost like a separate container. So use
Yes.
HD Photo Hub, use the marketing kit just to stay consistent. So there's always content rolling out that you don't have to really
Yes.
struggle over. And then in between that, pepper your own personality, which is going to attract your own audience. But it's so important to have something that's consistent and that's easy. I run a pretty aggressive social media page myself for my coaching and lifestyle stuff. And as soon as I get busy, it's the number one thing that falls away. It's almost like a gym membership, but
Yeah.
it's the only thing that gets me a six pack is the gym membership, and the only thing that grows my business is consistency. And so, yeah, having tools for that you know and love that stay the same, that's money.
Completely agree. Ian, what about that gym membership? You agree with that too?
You guys are gonna see me at PMRE next year, and you're gonna be like,
Just
"Damn, Ian,
shredded.
Ian stuck with it. He was consistent the whole time." No,
Yeah.
the way that I see it, like, how do you do that? How do you stay consistent? Honestly, is you measure it and you hold yourself accountable. And you like measuring it can be super simple. Like, hey, I'm gonna do one post a day every day,
Yeah.
and you just have a spreadsheet where you have that date, and you said, how many posts did I do? I did one. Okay, great, awesome. And then, you get to an end of a day and you go, gosh, how many posts did I do? Or it's the next day, you forgot to even log it. And you go, well, I didn't do any yesterday. Just put that zero on there. It's okay. You're going to miss. Just measure it so you can feel at least where you are consistent. Because just because you miss one time doesn't mean that you have to stop and you can't be consistent going forward. So I don't know.
Yeah.
In life, I'm a you get what you measure type of person. So pay
That's
attention and
great
measure it.
advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to double down on that. Atomic Habits, great book.
Mm.
And in
Hmm.
Atomic Habits, they talk about like, I'm going to use the gym example again, or the beach. Like I surf here a lot. And even like if I wake up and I'm going to go to the beach, but then I don't feel like it, even if I don't get in the water, I still go to the beach.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with social media. Like we want all our posts, we want everyone in our family and our mothers and everyone to be like, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing." But it's more important to just show up and post something just to get into the habit. And like that to me is phase one of anyone who wants to be to market on social media is consistency, and then you start building quality on top of that in the beginning. And then I think there's a whole phase two where you can really go quality
Yeah.
forward. But to start off with, it's the habit. And
For
going back to
sure.
the marketing kit, it makes it easy to uphold that habit.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sure Lindsay's going to call it out, but right, the business owners can just use the content that's in the marketing kits that they give to their agents to be like, "Hey, look at the cool stuff that we can offer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so much stuff now. I mean, you have months worth and you choose a new listing and it looks completely different. So, okay, I'm gonna hop back into my cool slides and we're gonna talk a little bit, here's a couple points about just if you're not taking social media seriously, you're missing a huge opportunity not to, make anybody feel bad if you're not using social media consistency, but this is just a friendly reminder, maybe again, a little motivation. Is that it's free. I mean, hello, unless you're paying for ads or you're hiring someone to do your social media for you, it's free. It's a free billboard. You can get in front of a lot of people at one time. How I look at it is even if you only get 100 views on your post or your reel, if you're just kind of getting started, think about a room of 100 people. Like how long would that take you to call 100 people on the phone and give them your spiel or your ad, or get in front of them. So it's still a great number. You're still getting in front of a lot of people. And again, it's for free. Social media is actually helping your search in SEO and even in AI searching now because it takes your keywords and your engagement and all that kind of stuff. So if somebody's searching for you in SEO, search engines, or in AI, social media actually can contribute to that. So that's another reason to take social media seriously. Agents hire photographers they recognize and trust online. And, social media really turns into a 24/7 sales tool for you when you're sleeping. We've all been there. It's late at night. You just get lost in social media or on someone's dog's grandma's page. And next thing you know, you feel like you're best friends with them. You can be selling while you're sleeping, is how I like to look at it. So that's another great point. Oliver, I'm sure you have some points as well, but I mean, social media is a great tool.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said, and that is for me. That's what I've experienced personally. And when agents want to get into social media and like why is it important, and some of them they start, they try, they don't see an immediate
Yes.
result, and I often tell them like, no, this is a long game. Like you might have a post that pops off and goes viral, but that's not even as important. Agents are local. What's important is that they're seen by the local community, that they're referred by the local community. And ultimately, whatever your platform is, social media is keeping you top of mind. So if someone's in a coffee shop saying, I'm looking for a real estate agent, and they happen to have seen you 5 minutes ago on social media posting about your golf or your swimming or whatever it is that you do, the likelihood of you being referred starts to go through the roof. And the longer you stay on social media and create a personality, it keeps you top of mind. And that's what I think is super important for agents, more so than going viral. It's just staying
Yes.
consistent and top of mind. And so that's what I always try to remind agents. It's not about the reach, it's about just showing up and being the guy that everyone knows and says, yeah, he's always posting and I like his stuff and he seems super busy. That's
Yeah.
really, really great. That's a great reputation.
100%. And on this, going into what I'm going to talk about next, is that really it's a lot of just getting your name out there, and how the algorithm works is people engaging with your posts, and then it spreads to more people. And it looks like everyone likes your business and everyone's engaged with you, I don't want to say the words, you're not faking it, but everyone wants to see that everyone likes your content. Everyone uses this guy. They love this guy. So why wouldn't you? Social proof.
And I'm going to add a little bit of an aside. It's still very pertinent to the conversation, but
Yes.
a lot of agents, you click through to their websites, and it's sometimes like it's not like it's their listings or it's something else or it's their team page. And what I really like to get in agents' minds as well is like there should be some catch. There should be something that all the social media is directing towards. And in my mind, and
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't know. Oh no, Costa Rica. The
Maybe
internet.
he did say it was pretty windy in power today.
That's true.
so sorry guys,
Oh,
power went out.
hey.
Yeah.
I am back. That's
Perfect.
Woo.
yeah, that does happen. But ultimately, what I was saying is building a really good home asset, whether that's just a beautiful video on your landing page, something that really is like almost like a digital handshake. Now, once you have that in place, every single piece of social media that you put out can direct people back to that main thing that you want them to ingest. And that's
Right.
why I think social media, and it makes it actually, when you create a landing page or a website or a video that's kind of a about me video, it makes it more exciting to post because you know that that video is so effective to get your message across. And so I often tell agents too, like it's a good thing to start with a really good website about me page or a video, because then you're even more motivated to keep up with social media posting because that's sending everyone down the funnel into your world. Why post? Yeah, why post on social media every day? Because it's like bite-sized little hot bites, but
Right.
that's the appetizer to the bigger thing that you have to offer.
Right. And I'll go into it too. People's attention span. I think I read a stat the other day that humans' attention spans are now shorter than a goldfish. So, go us. We're really killing it, guys. But it just
Yeah.
grabs attention in a new way. And then you're bringing people to that main, piece like you're talking about. So we're gonna go a little bit into the algorithm. I won't bore y'all too much with it, but I do think that this is important to understand because sometimes, so if you look at this picture over here, you can see there's views. This is from a client's Instagram, but I want to point out, I don't know if you can zoom in or that you can see 18% is followers, but 81% is non-followers who saw their content for the last 30 days of this cycle. So it's really important to keep that in mind because it can get discouraging if I joke with people these days that you basically have to take someone to dinner to get them to follow you. It's hard to get followers these days, but the social media algorithm has changed a little bit, and the fact that you don't have to have a lot of followers to get a lot of views on your social media content. So if you kind of like reset your mind that to focus on engagement, and I'll go over exactly what that is, and I know Oliver can definitely give a bunch of awesome tips for this, but focusing on engagement versus your follower count is going to help you build and create better content. So it tells the algorithm that your either your business or your content is popular. This is things like if someone shares your content, whether it's to a friend or their story or they comment on it. Likes actually aren't as powerful as they used to be, but anything that gets someone engaged with your content is going to help your content be seen by more people. And if the right people, if you're tailoring your content to the right people, the right people are engaging with your content, then it's going to serve it to more people that are like them and interested in what they also like, if that makes sense. Oliver, maybe you can.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I always think about it like a giant, like internet's a giant party. There's 100 people at the party. You go in there, and as long as you are yourself and talk about the things that you want to talk about that interest you, by the end of that party, even if you showed up alone, guaranteed you'll be in a group of people who all seem to enjoy the same thing. And that is my number one suggestion to anyone who's like, well, what do I post about? I go back to like, well, what is it that you really like? What is it that how do you help people every day? What do people
Right.
ask you about every day? That's what you want to talk about because that's going to attract those type of people towards you, which become your customers.
100%. Right. Let's see, early. So the save, shares, and comments are most important, more important than likes and more important than followers. So keep that in mind. There's also other couple tips on this slide. Oliver, definitely want your input. You are the media professional on this, but just a couple tips for creating since our goldfish minds are quick to scroll or and it's just how our minds are being trained with the social media. I mean, you just scroll. I had my toddler the other day. We were looking at a duck videos. He likes ducks, and I mean, he knew how to go to the next one, go to the next one. I'm like, what is going
Yeah.
on? Ian knows his boys. Yeah,
Hmm.
they know how to do.
Yeah, I remember when they were little, and it was just like fascinating to me. Like, holy smokes, they pick it up so fast. Like,
Right.
wow,
It's
the
just,
research of these social media companies is so
Yeah.
good to get to that piece of like what's intuitive that like literally like little kids that can't speak yet know how to do it.
yeah. And just having to grab that attention from the get-go to keep them on your content longer. Because again, like we just talked about it, the longer someone stays on your social media posts, it's going to tell the algorithm it's popular, and then it's going to serve it to more people, or it's going to help your rank in the algorithm. So these are just a couple little things. Oliver, definitely want you to talk your expertise on them on it. But why should people keep watching? You need to make sure you open with the best shot first. You
Hmm.
definitely want to get your face on some of them too, because people buy from people. And I say this in the real estate photography and real estate agent industry too. You're going in these homes one on one with people. You're going into people's homes, or again, you're meeting in a small like intimate area, and they want to know who they're going to be working with. They want to know who they're going to be seeing. It also is help going to provide trust in your industry. So your face, your opinion, maybe some controversial topics sometimes will do well. And then make sure you're showing behind the scenes too, or like why you chose this angle, or how you go about a photo shoot, or some strategy behind it, because people like to see that as well when they're on social media, besides just listings. And Oliver, I'm going to let you definitely, again, you're the
Yeah.
professional.
Well, yes. From copywriting, the thing that makes the most sense to carry over is don't bury the lead. And I see that happen all the time. People like lead up to something amazing, and that has to be right. And it's so easy to understand this because just start scrolling and see what stops you in
Right.
your tracks. So don't bury the lead. So put the most beautiful thing and the most interesting thing up front. If it is educational, or if you are talking, or even if it's like script, if there's things on the page, like if it's a carousel, you want to let people know exactly what they're getting into and what they're going to get out of it. So, like, I almost died swimming today, and this is how I got out of it, right? And then immediately you're like,
Mhm.
oh, I need to know this story. So just put that right. It's often called the hook, but what's more
Right.
important than just calling it the hook is like, why is that important, and what stops you in your track? So your most beautiful shot, something really powerful that lets them know what they're going to get out of, like, what's the payoff from watching this or ingesting this, like what is the payoff, put that right off the top. And then my other, yeah, face recognition is really important. It's amazing, you know, you take a picture with your kids, which I don't do anymore, but if you put that on social media, that'll outperform the most beautiful photograph you can put out there. And
Right.
then yeah, and then my other, yeah, I think that's those are the two big ones for me though. Is like, what is the hook, and like what is a hook, you know, to you? And then in real estate, education or entertaining. Entertaining, I think for a lot of agents becomes intimidating because they're like,
Hmm.
I'm not like this is not this is not what I signed up to do. I am not going to sing, dance, tell jokes, be ironic, be sarcastic. I don't want to do that. So if you're not the entertainer, which is a very small percentage of people, although I would say the most powerful on social media is entertainment. But if that's not you,
Hmm.
education is the second most powerful tool. So, like, what are you sharing with people? And just make it very clear what they're going to learn from taking in your content. On the listing
Yeah.
side, when you're posting listings, I train all my photographers when they're, or my videographers when they're making videos. It logically, you would think it would make sense to start in the front door and then just go through the house like a natural tour. But
Right.
most houses, what's like the first thing on the right? It's like a little tiny bathroom. And if the house is like a multi-million dollar house or has beautiful landscaping or an epic cathedral ceiling in the living room, the first thing I want to see is that in the video. So in your
Right.
social media posts, he established the outside. We know the time and place that we're in. That's important. Like, start by establishing where we're at. I always like to describe, like, maybe most people don't get the reference, but Lord of the Rings, it always starts with a big wide shot because there's all these
Hmm.
different worlds that we're in. And so they're immediately letting you know, like, what world are you in? So something big and wide to establish the world, three shots maximum, get us inside the world. And once we're inside, show me the best room on that floor, then the next best room, then the next best room, and then go to the stairs and then do the exact same order. But it always front load with the best of the best because that's what's going to keep people interested.
Right. And going back to your entertainment and education, we're talking about you want to encourage comments and shares and saves. That kind of stuff is perfect because, whether you're sharing like a meme or an inside joke or something funny that real estate agents would get, they might send it to another real estate agent.
Yeah.
That's engagement. Another real estate agent's going to see your content. So that kind of stuff works like a little more strategic than people think. Or say you're giving this really great piece of education or advice, they're either going to maybe save it for later or they're going to send it to a friend or another colleague or something. So there is some strategy behind that more than I feel like people, think about when they see it. So,
Yeah. And I would say that for every agent and every person, the strategy will be slightly different.
yes.
I think, and what I tell a lot of agents is if they're just starting out and they're like, oh, I don't know, don't overthink it. Pick
Mhm.
pick a strategy and
Right.
then just do that for 30 days. Pay attention to what people are liking, and it might, even if it doesn't get a lot of traction, if there are some metrics worth following that it doesn't matter if it doesn't blow up in views. There could be something, but at the end of that month, sit down with somebody like Lindsay,
Right.
review how things went, and have them point out what was working for you, double down on that, and then introduce another idea that you want to try out. But always give yourself that time and have a strategy. Doesn't matter if it's right or not. You just got to get started in a direction. And then the feedback from the audience will let you know how effective you're being.
For sure. And just start with something that you're really confident talking about. I mean, you probably have some of the same conversations all day long with,
Yeah.
similar customers and clients. And, it's funny when I'll go film some social media content, whether you're getting on camera, it's like you get this little guy out and it's like, I forgot my name. I don't know what I do. I don't want to, but it's like talk about something you're confident with first. Like you said, that just start somewhere and then just build from there, see what's working. And maybe what's interesting to you might not be interesting to your audience or resonate with them. So it's definitely some trial and error, like you said, for sure.
Yeah, to anyone who's helping their agents create this content, ask them before you start anything like, what do people ask you the most? Like, what is the
Right.
number one question you get asked the most, or the top three questions you get asked the most? Start there because they'll have said it a million times and they'll
Right.
know it inside out. They won't even have to think about it. They get that piece out and then you show it to them and then they're like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
like I looked really good. And
Yeah.
that confidence, it's like, I love metaphors, but like a boxer that comes up too fast and gets knocked out, their career is over. So you want to gradually bring people
Yes.
into social media and always start where they're the most confident. If it's a walking, talking, whippy, crazy video that they see these luxury real estate agents do, and they try to do that,
Yes.
and then they see themselves and nothing's working properly, they're going to give up on this whole social media thing immediately. So give them baby steps.
Yeah. And right, that isn't naturally when you be like, hey, what are you gonna post online? Or hey, I'm gonna start this social media thing. People don't think of, well, the stuff that I just know so well.
Right.
They're like, well, that's not very
Yeah.
interesting because I know it so well. It's not interesting to me. But then
Yeah.
they forget. They forget that, oh my gosh, there's actually about like not everybody else knows all this stuff the way that I know it because they don't all do it every single day the same way that I do. And so
Yeah.
it's like sometimes it's just simpler, right?
Yeah, my mentor, he called it, and it's a great term, proximity bias. Whatever you're really close to, you don't think it's that important. If you're in a big city, you normally don't go to the tourist sites,
Right.
right? Because you know them so. You're like, oh, it's the Eiffel Tower, it's just there. Like, why would I go to it? So, what is really close to you, you don't value, which is crazy. And he helped me get over that. He's like, no, just talk about what you know really well. It might seem boring to you, but you're at a level 10 at this. Most people are level 2, some people are level 4, but like speak to what you know, don't judge it, and just be aware that it's way more valuable than you think.
Absolutely.
even
And
if every
people,
other even if every other agent is saying the same thing, that's okay because the way you say it is specific.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I definitely agree with that because you could be the deciding factor. Your vibe, your personality could be the reason they want to work with you versus someone else. So I always say that's a reason in itself to put your face online and show your true personality and don't be someone you're not because those are the people you're going to want to work with anyway.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more fun slide, and then Oliver, I'm gonna hand it to you. I know. Oh, sorry, two more quick ones. So here's a couple other creative ways of how to get your post to reach more people. Instagram has a feature where you can tag or collaborate with agents. This is a great way to get your content in front of their followers as well, and probably a lot of their followers are real estate agents too. So make sure that when it makes sense, if you're doing their listing, if it's something that like completely promotes yourself and your business, don't try to collaborate with someone. But when it makes sense, definitely tag those agents, collaborate with them if they're open to it. That's great. Share content that actually resonates with your ideal client. So share content that resonates with real estate agents, and real estate agents need to share content that resonates with home buyers and sellers. So you definitely need to be putting your personal spin on things, but make sure you are really talking about what you and your business focus on, using relevant keywords in your captions and your bios. Some hashtags, so hashtags are not as powerful as they used to be. You really want to focus on keywords. So think about what people are, typing in the Google machine or typing in AI, and you want to make sure that your bios on social media are optimized with these keywords as well. And I'm going to give an example post in the next two slides. And I'll show you what those keywords are. But that helps with that SEO ranking and your ranking in AI as well. You want to write for what your audience is searching, not just what you want to post. Again, there you definitely should share some personal stuff, but you want to post stuff that they find interesting. And then adding the location, a lot of real estate photographers work in a certain location. So that's great, I think, from a marketing perspective, because you're not just trying to throw a cast net and reach the whole United States. You're really focusing on a certain neighborhood or city, so you can really get targeted in those keywords. So your area, think about that real estate photography in, say, Tucson or wherever you are, really focus on those local keywords as well. And then last little pieces, I definitely, Oliver, and you're expert on this, but just a couple points. On how to get your agents to use the marketing kit. Again, Oliver and I were talking before, and it's hard if they don't feel educated and confident on how to use it, or ideas and that kind of stuff. So these are just a couple ideas. Again, you can screenshot, or Ian will save some of these out. You definitely want to show value. Reduce the friction. So help set up a 15 quick little walkthrough, or pre-record it, or give them a quick start guide, a quick YouTube video, or a handout, something like that might be great. Incentivize use. So maybe you have a contest or a tagging contest. Maybe you give maybe not a full free photo shoot, but maybe like a twilight for whoever wins the most posts for the month, or something fun like that. Um, Perks like seasonal. HG Photo has great seasonal content in the marketing kit. So hey, don't forget we have a Christmas reel out, or we have a new spring reel. Make sure to use it. It just kind of brings people back to the marketing kit and hopefully gets them to use it. Ian?
Yeah, great to like just post it in your business to remind your agents that it's there, right? They might have had a listing that went live, whatever, the 1st of February, and now you're into spring and it's still live. That gives them a good excuse to just go put it online again. Like, oh, hey, I got some new copy to just say, hey, welcome to spring, or happy St. Patty's Day, or, whatever kind of the fun holiday is. It's just all it is an excuse for here's some content to go post again to your sphere.
Right. And it looks completely different.
Yeah,
It,
right. And it doesn't
you,
have to just be the newer listings that are coming on. It can be existing listings, and there's still a ton of value there.
right. Or even solds too are great too. So help them build habits, Oliver, like you were talking about, atomic habits. Maybe create like a post listing checklist for them, like get the photos, then do this and this, and just like provide them some education, or some kind of piece that kind of helps walk through. You become more of a marketing partner than just their media professional. The number one thing is that it's a time saver. I mean, if that doesn't sell a real estate agent who doesn't have a lot of time, I don't really know what will, but make sure you're positioning that. You're not having to upload, you're not having to create it in other apps, or Canva or Instagram. It's created for you. You can edit it, which we'll go through next. And then an optional upsell. So done for you posting services. If you have the time, if you have team members where you could like add it in a package where you do the post for them, that could be a good idea too. Oliver, definitely want to get all of your awesome insight
Yeah,
on.
my real world experience with this is that the agents that adopted the marketing kit, when I presented to them, all I provided an onboarding session with them. For a lot of
Awesome.
them, I recorded it and I showed them exactly how to do that. But the ones that were truly successful, and I really encourage every photographer, videographer to adopt this strategy, is like take the time up front, because then you can build a lifetime customer on the back end. If you just drop it on their lap and say, here you go, and walk away, just reverse that in your head. Like imagine getting a tool without an instruction booklet, and currently there
Right.
is still the most dominant agents are boomers, and that is the truth. Like they have the
Yes.
market share. Some of them are digital natives, like they understand, but a lot of them are digital dinosaurs. You're giving them a digital tool that they don't understand, And in my market, yeah, my most successful agents are of an older generation, and they want to, but they could also take it or leave it. So I take the time, and that's also a generational thing. Like we will scout, like our generation, we'll scour YouTube and we'll read everything and we'll learn on our
Right.
own. We're very used to that. But one on one, going into the office, giving them half an hour and walking them through, not like they're a senile, but just like the personal connection that you're creating does it does a whole bunch of things. But one, you're going to show them how to use it. They can ask questions. It's tactile, like learning from a screen versus like telling someone what to do while they operate their computer. That is an like in learning, I've discovered this as a coach. My in-person coaching versus digital coaching, very different how quickly people adopt things. So I encourage people, if they have the time, to take that onboarding session with their agent. Book it in with them, go do it.
Yeah.
Your adoption rate's going to go through the roof, and you're going to create a much deeper connection with the agent. And all of us are into long-term clients. And so if you're now seen as that person that took the time out of their day to like educate them, that's going to do so much for you and your personal connection with the agent. So that to me is the most important thing in getting agents to adopt the marketing kit, is actually to sit down and go through them all the way from like, here's the delivery, this is
Right.
how you redesign things, this is how I would personally choose that, let them ask whatever questions, this is how you download it, and this is how you upload it, all the way to the phone to posting. Like you got to go from soup to nuts. I found that to be the most effective way for the majority of my clients who have adopted it. There are some that just pick it up and go, but to guarantee, it's such a useful tool, and it could be easily overlooked if you don't take that little bit of extra time. That
Yeah,
that's my feedback, and
You couldn't have said that more perfect.
I know, right? Like it's going for the next shoot, not the current shoot.
yeah,
But it's giving them that investment to show that you value them as a customer. So that's what they're actually feeling when you're doing that. And
yeah,
also you're telling them how valuable that thing is.
yeah,
And if even if they're like, gosh, I don't know, I'm not ready to do the social media, they
mm-hmm.
still appreciate and value what you showed them. And even when they're not using it at that point, in their head, in their mind, they still know all of the value that that brings, even when they're choosing not to do it. So it is, I mean, I think it's actually like very important. And because they know it's valuable and they know they should be doing it, they'll continue to order that product if you sell it as an upsell,
Right.
because they know that there's value there and you showed them the value there. Even if they're
Mm-hmm.
like, gosh, I just didn't do it on that one, but I will on the next one. Like I'll be
Yeah.
sure to use that.
Well, there is something to yeah, perceived value. Like I have
Hmm.
things that I give people for free and they won't watch it. I'm like, the answer was like inside that thing I gave you. And then I'll charge someone like $47 for a mini course. And there's a whole different like, or if there's a sales call and they actually get to talk to me and then they buy something, they will ingest it and use it so much more than if it's like, hey,
Mhm.
by the way, this is also included. Uh, it actually diminishes the perceived value. So sitting down and talking to them about it is it's part of the sales. Like you have to do that in the sales call or like in your sales cycle. They need to know that it's valuable. Otherwise, they might also just overlook it, not even knowing that it's there. I do have agents that get the marketing kit for the website and they just post and they don't even really, because they're kind of overlooking the value of it just because it's inside of a package. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yes, I couldn't agree more with that. That's a great, I'm sure that's been very successful, and that's why you have a lot of marketing kit and a lot of loyal customers too.
I think that once you have technique dialed in, like the expectation is technique and delivery, like that has to be there. Like it's just a given. But then the biggest separator to me in this industry, especially now, is customer service and connection. And that's
Yeah,
what, if I could coach people on anything, it would be mindset, and customer service is to me the thing that separates a long career in this industry, or just kind of dipping in, getting the lowest paying clients, and then being frustrated that this isn't working for you.
Right. They're using you because of the experience, not necessarily because of better photos or the best angles. Like the real estate agents don't perceive photos the same way that you guys do. A photographer does on like what's
Yeah.
better and what's not. They look and they go, oh, that looks like a great photo. So,
Hmm.
like, do they like working with the person? Was the experience smooth? Was it easy to work with that person? Matters so much in this business. They
Yeah.
love the relationship people. That's how they build their business.
Yeah.
They want that from the businesses they work with.
Yeah.
And you
And
don't
they,
get that as much anymore either.
yeah. Yeah. They look at you as the subject expert. And if you're
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
here, I want your money. Here's your photos. Bye. They want so much more from you than you know, and they have a lot of questions. And so give them the opportunity to ask those questions, educate them, and then you'll have this amazing like retained client that is without even a contract. The business just keeps coming back. The referrals come in.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Piggybacking on that, the very last thing I was going to share is how to make quickly go into the marketing kit and quickly make a post in less than 5 minutes, because that's everybody's big thing. I don't have time for that. I don't have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But with the marketing kit, like you said, this is great peppered in to keep you consistent. And so I don't want to say there's no excuses, but we're going to do a quick post. This is a great, example. You can sit down with your new agents. I'm sure Oliver, you go through this. I'm just going to go through one quick reel and just how easy it really can be. Um, all right, let's see. Let's see. Will it let me? Okay. So we are gonna go into where I'm already signed into a marketing kit. All right, Ian, you gonna time me?
Did you see me look at my watch damn
All
straight? I'm going to time you. Let's see what you got,
right,
Lindsay.
let's go. Let's go.
All right,
Okay.
start.
All right, so we are in the marketing kit. Amazing, super easy to edit. Maybe at first it's a little bit intimidating, but like Oliver said, just need to get in there and actually hands-on either show, make a video. I'm gonna just go ahead and go for the first reel here. I like this one. I think it's eye-catching. It has pictures moving. It'll that engagement factor that we talked about. I'm gonna go in here and edit. Maybe I want to change. A photo or two. So you can click on the big background photo. My head right here. You have lots of options. So that looks nice. The dark background, I'm just going to pick that next photo there. And then all these are mini slideshows in here. So you can see 1 of 7, 2 of 7. So you can click the X if you want to change something out. I'm going to change a staircase. That's not super eye-catching, and I'm gonna go with this really nice bathroom shot. So we put that one in that slideshow. This one's got some nice moving video, also eye-catching, which I like. You can also put the video in the back as well. Again, you can quickly go in here. Usually your top images are up here at the top. There's lots of pull in those images. Again, you're not having to bring them in another thing like Canva. So we're going to click save and close. If you want to change the fonts here, you can do that. So just click on it. It's pretty simple up here. We got bold, underline. You can change the text size, all that fun stuff. The color here, you can change the text color or your brand, your agent's brand. Um, all right, so those are the basic ones. As far as editing, I'm gonna save and close. I think it looks good. All of them are designed to look awesome off the bat, but know that you can customize a lot of them, and I have. So it's definitely an option. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna click download. Take a little second, it builds, and then downloads here. Ian's cutting into my time, but this is quick.
We
Come
need the
on,
Jeopardy
we can do
music.
it. We can do it.
Yeah.
No,
Come
I'm
on,
super
come on, come
curious,
on.
Oliver. I noted a question for later, but while this is going, when you're coaching your agents on this and taking them through it, what is the approach that you take on like the editing piece? Are you showing them or telling them, or maybe you do this before you send it to them using on the site media page where you can star it and it's going to like prefer those images up at the top? Or do you say, hey, come in and curate it just the way you want it? Or do you try to like go more simple of like, hey, you can come in, change some photos if you really need to, download it? Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, big thing. Well, it's downloaded now, but hold that question and I will answer that because I do have
All
an
right.
answer for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. We've
Thanks,
got our
Oliver.
timer going. So
Oliver's got my
nice.
back. He's not getting into my 5 minutes like Ian was. Okay, so this is this is downloaded. It's ready to go. I'm just in my account right now. This is obviously just kind of a fake post that we are doing. So, oh here, let me go back. We are in the Meta Suite. I'm gonna grab this. So here we go. So
Lindsay
we're in the
feels the
Meta.
pressure.
Yes, I know. We're in the Meta Suite right here. We are going to go to this little button that says Create Reel. We are going to add in the video we just downloaded. Awesome, beautiful. While it is uploading, we're going to come here and we are going to make a caption. I have some captions which are great to have on hand, but I'll write this out so you can, but with the timing purposes, it's saying as a real estate photographer, we don't just deliver photos, we give our agents built-in social media marketing tools to help their listings get more visibility, engagement, and local reach online. So this hashtag says real estate photography company. Again, I would do maybe one or two hashtags, but down here you can see I've added in some of those keywords, which there's also some keywords up here in the caption. So real estate photographer, built-in social media marketing tools. And then down here, you can see some keywords like real estate photography, real estate marketing, your area photography, and then your area. We kind of talked about the strategy behind some of that. And look at that, our beautiful video is uploaded. You want to make sure you pick an eye-catching thumbnail here that will go on your feed so it'll interest people to click it. Here is where you can put some tags. Oh wait, go next right there. If you want to tag an agent, you could have done that back there. You can either choose the music it comes with, or you can slide this little audio volume back, and then you can pick a audio here that either Meta gives you. Now, if you're uploading directly from your phone, you can look at what audio is trending and maybe hook it up to a trending audio so it can maybe help your algorithm reach. But really, the focus is more on the content versus the audio, if it's trending or not. So focus on that first. And then we're going to click next.
Yeah, definitely a best practice, right? To use the social media, use the music that's in their library rather than what it comes with. Yeah,
I would say so.
I would too.
Third.
Okay. So, and then here we go. We're ready to share, or you can schedule, or you can save as a draft. I'm not going to share it on my page a second, but there we go. And we're done. Ian?
Boom, you're there.
Whoa! All right. I had a couple audience members interrupt my but at the end of the day, this is a great exercise that either you can video for your agents to help educate them, or just like for you if you're having a busy week and you need to get some marketing content up there. It's great for you to, I mean, I would say post something from the marketing kit at least once a week.
Yeah,
Maybe
right.
maybe more if you need to, you know?
In the Atomic Habits book, right, he really talks about keeping the streak and just doing it because you're supposed to do it. Kind of like Oliver said, like, hey, even if I'm not going to get in the water and surf, I'm still going to at least go down to the beach.
Right.
It's, you know, the marketing kit for listings you've already shot and you delivered to an agent, right? That was like 5 minutes, especially if you're just set and you're not trying to talk and answer questions at the same time. I mean, and if you have some of your write-ups, it's kind of like the workout piece of, all right, I'm going to do 20 push-ups because today that's going to be my workout, and I'm going to say I kept my streak alive. And it's more about building the confidence and momentum of I'm doing this. This is what I'm supposed to do is be consistent, and it's okay to take that route sometimes. I've got a few questions for you guys, but please dive in. But I've got a couple around some of that stuff.
Well, if I want to go back to the question asked Ian about like the marketing kit. So I used to just dump my photos in HD Photo Hub. I was a little bit careless, I gotta say. But now all the and also now I don't do the editing portion of it. I have a whole team doing that, but they're trained to organize everything in, like, we always start with exterior. Like, I just have a setup because that's what the agents want. There's some agent, they want to hit a button and then move it over here and then upload it, and they don't want to do any reorganizing. So the way it's set up is a lot like I was saying before, like, don't bury the lead. We set things up to be the most optimal way that it should go into a listing. And then we will star like what we find really attractive, because we know the stars are now going to pre-populate the marketing kit, which for a lot of agents, if it's already pretty much done and dusted, you know, this is a bad thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. Real estate media, especially the mid-market kind of fast turnaround world, it's about an 80% consistency. The luxury high end, that's where you fuss over like, it's like architectural photography, but real estate media is about like good, fast, and consistent. And
Mm-hmm.
so if the marketing kit already has everything done for them with the best possible selections, and they can just hit download and go, that satisfies that good, fast, and consistent need that most agents have. And again, customer service thinking, if you make your whole workflow or your whole delivery process with your agents good, fast, and consistent, you'll have a long career in here. So that extra step, if you're the person who's doing deliveries, make sure it's organized properly, and then star the ones that you know pop the most. And if you have a team doing it, make sure they're educated to doing that, because you want to make this a super slippery service for your agents where they have the least amount to do. That's my suggestion, and that's what we do, and it's kept us in business for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like, a lot of the businesses that are using our platform do have some sort of form of QA that they're out there doing, either through an admin or through the photographer themselves when it comes back from edit. It's a great time to just star them. Like, which shots came back and that are going to sell the house. Like, you just know it's what you do
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. And I'll say that also anchors your pricing, because in the industry of, like, who's the lowest, the tire kickers looking for the cheapest service. I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, sorry. I'm at the time of the day. It's like there's rolling brownouts here. But I've logged into like, I think this one's connected to a generator. Anyways, the whole point of that is like making everything that you do, repeating myself. But to me, that makes, because I'll raise my prices every year, and no one ever blinks an eyelash because they're so addicted to the easiness. It's like turning your business into Amazon. It's like, I want one click, it's done. I think that that's the name of the game if you're a service based industry, and that is what we are. We provide a service, so you want to be as one touch as possible. And Photographer Social Hub, like, why is it called a hub? Because you guys are creating it to be a hub. Now we do postcards. Now we have like your order booklets. Now we do a marketing kit. Now we have your website. Everything's delivered in one place. And a year from now, if you want everything, you just wake up the media and it's there. Like, it being a hub where everything is located, and it's so valuable. It's beyond valuable. Um, I want to tell you a real story. I onboarded a commercial client recently, a commercial real estate agency, and they were asking me what my delivery is like, because they get Gmail deliveries and Dropbox deliveries, and it's always such a headache for them. And I was showing them how we deliver and how you can resize the images and download whatever you want. And they were just like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, where have you been? Like, we wanted this so badly."
Yeah,
So I
right.
don't know. I don't know what's going on in commercial real estate, but it seems like they have a bit of a messier delivery system.
Right. And right, the perception from that client is great. Now we're working with somebody professional. Look, they have their own system.
And
It's them and it's their
yeah,
brand. Not to mention, like, right, you're reminding them who they're working with every single time they're hitting that delivery page. I love a good time to plug our
yeah.
white label delivery and how valuable that really is, and, like, truly, like, what the perception is.
I'm excited to see those postcards, Ian.
Okay,
Not to
I'm
like
here.
go back to.
Yeah, they look really good. We got some cool open house ones that I think people are going to be super jazzed about.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and I feel, just looking at them, I'm like, ooh, I think we're going to have to do some fresh open house social media reels and stuff too.
Cool.
I know it's it's great to just have that out there, and we can keep bringing new value to it all the time, and it's definitely something that we focus on, and yeah we
Yeah.
we know that we hear constantly the value that it brings back from our
Oh,
customers
for
and
sure.
from their agents.
To everyone listening to this who has a business, do your own print and make your own postcard when they're available. Keep that in your camera bag. Don't tell your agents that you have it available. Do you want to like just bring it with you? And every time you're at a listing, if the agent's there, you say, "Hey, by the way, we do this as well." Put it in their hand.
Yes.
That is, it's the same thing as like walking them through in person. Like put the product in their hand. Don't show it on on your Instagram, or you can, but the most powerful way
Right.
you're going to get people to adopt it is put it in their hands so they can like physically touch and look at it. And if you want to go one step further and take one of their listings, an old listing, and print it with that in there and then show it to them.
Ooh,
Hmm.
nice.
It right now they're holding the marketing kit. It isn't just this thing that's on the internet that they have to figure out what to do with.
Yeah.
It's there. It's physical. All right. So there were some things in there as you were talking, Lindsay and Oliver, that stood out to me. And I was like, geez, there's probably some people out there that are like, man, no wonder the social media stuff hasn't worked for me. Like there is like so much strategy that Oliver is going through and the thinking of what to do in my post and how to get it there. What would you say when you're coaching a new real estate photography business, Oliver, and Lindsay, when you're working with a new just company that you're working with in general, just a business out there? What is like just the first simple step that they can take to make that happen? Like they didn't write a strategy. They're not, they're not ready to make that bigger jump of this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm going. They're in that zone of I need to post to social media and I'm going to start to build the habit. What's the first thing that you tell them to do?
You want me to go? The first thing
Yeah.
the first thing I do is I tell them to get on Instagram and start looking at all their competitors, just, search in real estate media, real estate photographer, real estate videographer, and just start watching content. Just spend an hour. It's super easy. And anything that you like or anything that really grabbed you, hit save and then create a little folder and call it videos or content to copy or whatever you want, but like something like that. And just start saving all that stuff because that's going to be your inspiration later when you're sitting behind Canva or you're like with your camera trying to figure out what to create. Make a save folder. And if you're feeling stuck and you're looking at the mass, like like the paralyzing decision of like what do I do, and then just go back, watch them for inspiration. Do not copy them word for word, but use that
Hmm.
as a blueprint. My goal for anyone that I'm coaching is to get them to batch create in a few
Yeah.
sessions 30 days of content. I'm
Yep.
all about a 30-day sprint where you post something every day for 30 days without judgment and then review after those 30 days. To me, the ones that have become successful and turned into a habit all took on that challenge and went full in. Anyone who doesn't have it, like it's like a diet or like anything else. Like give yourself 30 days, know that it might be painful, know that you might hate it, but you're not allowed judging it or anything. Your only goal, Atomic Habits, is to post once a day. I highly recommend finding your slowest day to batch create all your content. And then, however you want to, you can either get up every morning at 9 a.m. and just post. Much easier to put it into some sort of scheduling software where there's lots of options for that. And then just let it go for 30 days. To me, that is the most effective way to get someone into the habit of posting. So, research your competition, get inspired by them, and then commit to 30 days of posting.
How about you, Lindsay?
I definitely have to agree with all of that. I do find some people might think every day is intimidating or like if they're starting from scratch or nothing. But I think the most important thing, like you said, is consistency. So say maybe you're intimidated by 30 days, which I agree. If you can do that, I think for sure. But pick 3 days but and also another thing is you don't have to be on every single platform. See what platform
Mm-hmm.
your people are on and pick that platform and own it for those 30 days. And don't worry about being, I mean, there's 50 different ones that you could really, if you wanted to be on every single one. and there's at least 10 like main ones. So see where the your ideal client is, own that. And there's lots of scheduling tools. And if you can't commit to those 30 every single day for 30 days, I would say several times a week and stay consistent in that. And you can schedule or sit down. I completely agree with batch your content. Say you want to do some videos like this. Get dressed, get yourself together, and do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos in a row and you're done.
Hmm.
So,
I want to explain why I think it's important for 30 days of posting, because I think it's a boot camp. It's a mental boot
right.
camp. And if I think about like, and I think about it like a diet. If I'm like, I'm going to eat healthy now, and I
Yeah.
only eat healthy 3 times a week or 4 times a week, it becomes really hard to pick up the habit. So that's why I think the 30 days in a row is super powerful, because you're like getting your mind into shape to do this. And then after that, one, you have a lot of data to look at now. You can kind of look at like what
Yeah.
felt good, what did I enjoy? Do I like being a talking head? Do I like just carousels? Like find out like what works for you. And then after that 30 days, you can scale back and say, okay, now I'm going to be 3 posts a week, but you're going to be conditioned to be able to do it. And I
I
just
like
think
that.
if you're going to do anything in business, you kind of have to dive in. Anything I've tried in business where I've limped in, it's never ever ever worked. So I just feel like it's great. Like it's a cold plunge, it's aggressive, it's into the deep end, but then you'll know if it's for you or not on the back end of that, and then if you scale back, it becomes so easy. Like, well, I have so much time to do this now. So I do think it's shocking, but I think it's a really effective way to get people ramped into it.
Yeah, I love the approach to setting goals like that, right? You set the goal for 30, you really try to stick to it and do it. All right, you struggle, you miss 1 day a week for 4 weeks, you posted 26 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to do, okay, I'm going to post 4 days all, for an entire month, I'm going to post 16 times and you miss one every time. Right now you only posted 12 times. Look at you got 3 times or not 3 times, almost kind of sort of 2.5 times the
Yeah.
uh the pump up just from setting your goals a little higher. And it's okay. If you don't hit it all the way, it still is better than trying to set too easy of a goal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like fasting. If you ever tried fasting and knowing that 10 o'clock is when my window opens, it's then it's okay. So 30 days, like this is 1 month, right? 1 month is not a crazy amount of commitment. Um, yeah, so I think it's great. Sorry, I'm just watching. My
And it
daughter's
is.
got a minor fever, and I'm just clocking how she's looking. She looks great. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, I hope she feels better. But to piggyback on that, remember the number one thing is that you already have all the content you
yes,
need.
yeah,
Honestly, I posting for 30 days definitely can sound intimidating to someone who's brand new. But with the marketing kit, I counted actually the reels right before this because I was just curious, and there's 24 of them. So
done.
you're
Yeah,
set for 24 days, even if you don't get on the camp. Like, there's so many other things. So like it is completely doable, and I think that's a great mindset. It's just I feel like people will get intimidated by
yep,
every day, but the good thing is that you have everything without even going out and getting extra. So you really can do
yeah, I agree.
All right. So I lied. I actually have two more questions, but I
it.
know it's probably like, oh man, it's going long, but I really do think these are pretty valuable. So Oliver, when you're working with a new coaching client, I know early on you guys were talking about making sure that you know who your target market is and who you're trying to reach when you're posting to social. How do you challenge or how do you lead them to discovering what the target market is for them and for that business?
And this is coaching a real estate photographer
Yeah, real estate photographer.
on reaching out. Like, what, how do, and so, yeah, let me understand the question. So, how do I coach them into finding the market in their area, like to speak
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
attract agents to?
Yeah, or like the type of agent that they want to work with. Like how do you get them to discover that if they're like, "Oh, well, I just want to reach everybody in this giant metro. I want all of the real estate agents." Like,
Yeah,
that isn't the best strategy. How do you help them get past that?
yeah. The one part of the process that I'll drill into here because it seems like the best possible answer is, yeah, imagine you're living in a massive city and you just want to post beautiful photos and you're like, I'll post the photos and they'll come to me. uh Unfortunately, we are a dime a dozen. Like, a lot of people can create beautiful photos and that's not what's going to attract them to you. And so I like to marry two. Like, I just say, like, what's the one thing that you love to do? And I always like to use pickleball as an example. Pickleball is everywhere, but it's also like a lot of agents like are obsessed with pickleball. And so I encourage them to pepper in their passion with their work.
Hmm.
Behind the scenes is great. All those other, like, showing people how you work is great, but I think putting in your passion, because then, I mean, the best clients I've ever landed, I've met at like my social functions or at my, like, I used to do a lot of CrossFit. I met a lot of real estate agents there. And so I met them because we had similar passions, and that breaks down, like, that creates this trust barrier instantly.
Mm.
So it's really, really important to like, if you're comfortable with it, sharing what you're passionate about, because that automatically takes you from like not knowing that person and trusting all the way up to like an 8 of trust score. And then yeah, it breaks down the barrier for them to be able to work with you. And then what generally happens is you'll post some beautiful portfolio work, and then you'll post something entertaining or interesting about you playing pickleball. And then an agent who's kind of like ghost following your account is going to like that pickleball post, or they're going to like that swimming post or that cycling post. I'm choosing all sports things, but they're going to like that. And as soon as an agent, and this is really stolen from Eli Jones, I won't take credit for this, but as soon as an agent engages with you, and for me, engagement is a like or a follow or a comment, those all in count. As soon as they do that, that is the invitation for you to DM them and say, hey, saw you like my pickleball post. By the way, I'm a real estate photographer. I don't know if you know that. And I would let, and then you fill in the blank. You can offer them a free shoot. You can do whatever you want, but put out the content that you're passionate about. If someone engages with you, then slide into their DMs and make them a soft offer. That's what I tell all the people that I coach with. And to me, that's the number two way to land clients, is through Instagram or TikTok. More Instagram, in my opinion. And it's all based on similar likes. And then guess what? You start working with people that have the same interests as you. Phenomenal. And that's your baseline of agents that you're working with. You do great work for them, then they're going to refer you to colleagues in their office, which maybe you don't have similar interests, but now you're getting referred to them. And referrals are the best business. It's the easiest way to land a new client, is to be referred. So start with interest based likes. That's how I would say breaking in is the best way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. And another idea is to, like, you probably have your core 5, 10 agents. I mean, like, they're your people. You probably have their personal cell phone number. Maybe you do social things, or, they're your top people and you enjoy working with them. Just ask them one day, hey, what are you liking? What are you not liking? How do you like to get your information? Because it might not
Mhm.
be like you want. And if you want more agents like them, there's a good chance that they'll give you some really good feedback that you can use.
Yeah.
And I saw somewhere it said, like, a critical customer is better than them going somewhere else. So, you
Yeah.
know, don't take it personal, but that constructive criticism or opening up, be like, your opinion matters. And like, that's huge research for you. You're getting in the mind of your
Yeah.
ideal consumer. So that's
Yeah.
another idea too.
Yeah, 100% feedback. If you make someone an offer on Instagram and you were chatting and then all of a sudden they ghost you, ask them why. Like, hey, not no pressure, but I did offer you a service. Is it that you already have somebody? I would just love to feedback.
Right.
I'm trying to grow my business. Real estate agents are all entrepreneurs and they respect the
Mm-hmm.
hustle, whether it's annoying to them or not. And if you ask for feedback, you'll get feedback, or at least at the very least, that's the minimum that you should do so that you're not in the dark. It's super empowering. And they might even say like, oh no, actually we are going to use you. It's just we don't have a listing right now. So you might even be on their mind and not even know it, and you'll be at home like crying because you think no one cares about your social media. It's incredible. Like when I was in PMRE, I had so many people come up to me and introduce themselves to me who follow me on Instagram, and I've never heard from them. I've never seen them like a post. They've never commented. They've never
Right.
DM'd me, but they had this real connection with me, and it was like I've never felt that before. I assume that that's must be what it is to be insta famous. Not that I'm saying that I am, but their comfortability with me was so high, and I was like, wow, that it really does create this amazing trust between you and your audience.
Yeah, it works, right? I th
Yeah.
uh, One piece on asking for the feedback, that's such a good tip, Oliver. And what's the worst that's going to happen? They keep
Mhm.
ghosting you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
They
it's
might.
risk free.
Yeah, I have somebody already. Your prices are too expensive. Currently we don't really like. There's only a few things they can really say, and none of them really hurt that much, but all of them will make you better.
All right, last question, and then we'll make sure that everybody knows where they can get in touch with you guys if they're interested to, if they have other questions and things that they want to ask you. Um, I'll hit you guys kind of both with this, and so I'm going to go more real estate agent focused on this. So when you are first introducing the marketing kit to an agent and talking about how they should use it, you're going through that first walkthrough call with them. What are the most common questions that you get from the agents? And then what's your typical response to that?
The most common question I get asked is they'll say, "Oh, so you do this for me?" And I say,
Yeah.
"Well, I say I could, but no, I don't do it for you." And I just explain like this is, and I do use the word. I do say it's very much like Canva, but specifically geared towards real estate media, and like what works the very best. And so it's beautifully designed. It's very easy to use, and all the media is already uploaded. And I want to show you how simple it is. So, and then that's usually when I pitch them on like working with them, or like giving them a walkthrough. But the most common question they kind of assume like, oh, so this is like done for me, and and I'm like, sort of, but and that's usually the most common question I get asked. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
the other common question is, well, won't my post look like everyone else's? And I say everyone's posts. This is what I do say. It might not be the right answer. I'm gonna say everyone's post looks like everyone else's. We're all derivative of each other. What makes it different is your brand, your colors, and the content you're putting inside of the design. But Canva is a multi-billion dollar business and it's all templates and almost everybody uses that. So everyone has the same templates and then you just adjust them to look a little bit different. Like we all wear the same clothes. What makes the clothes look different on you than me is that it's I'm wearing the clothes or you're wearing the clothes or you're wearing the clothes. So that's a very common question. People are worried that their content will look the same and somehow that will bring shame upon their business,
Right.
which I find very funny, but that is a very common question.
Right. It's almost oh, well, do you shop at Target sometimes? And I'm like, oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Like, do
Yeah.
you end up wearing the same shirt as somebody else because you shopped at Target? Well, maybe sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do feel like a lot of people kind of just like they need that push or that like cheerleader. Like you don't want to you don't want to like dumb it down, but like, like you got this. It's real easy. Like I promise. Let me show you how to do it real quick. Like you can totally do something like this. People just get intimidated and then next thing you know, they're just not going to do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Particularly the people that are like, oh, technology's hard.
Right.
They didn't grow up with it. It's hard. They do feel like it's hard and it is intimidating. And given that confidence is important.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Quick shout out to you guys, where any of the listeners can find you if they want to know more. I know Lindsay's man, she's tough over at Rich Reps. They've got a great business and they just keep the pipe full all the time.
Amazing.
But just in case she has a couple openings, Lindsay, where can people find you or get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely reach out if you need help with some of the social media stuff, whether it's consulting or you are looking for somebody to do your post for you. Maybe you don't have the time. You can visit our website at richreps, ritchreps.com. And just reach out. Again, I love working with real estate photographers. I've got a lot of respect for what y'all do, and I do understand the industry more than an average social media gal. So, yeah, y'all keep rocking and rolling. I love looking at y'all's content because it's just beautiful. So,
Awesome. Awesome. Oliver, if somebody's interested in coaching, or if they just want to follow you to see what you're up to on social media, just to, do that, take some notes and decide to maybe figure out how to implement it in their business.
Yeah. Instagram is the best way. Everything is kind of there. So at
Yeah.
Ollywood, OLIWOOD.coach. That's my Instagram.
Right
It
here.
is full of free educational, I think, entertaining content, all geared towards real estate media providers, photographers, videographers, anyone who's servicing real estate agents. And so that's a great place to get to know me, as well as like there's a lot of people that have learned a ton about how to run their business better just taking in the free content. That Instagram account is the best way to find out everything about me. Tons of free content to get educated on this industry, to see if it's right for you or to improve your business. And then what I specifically do is a 3 month, I call it a container or a coaching. And we start, even if you're an existing business, like cleaning up technique and workflow, and then building all the automations in the background so you can be working more on your business and not in your business. And then find, like, the last month, we really focus on what I think the big things are, like mindset and customer service, and all those little things you can do to make yourself stand out in what is becoming, in my opinion, a more increasingly like homogenized business. So like, what are the little things that you do to really sustain your business? And yeah, so that's me.
Awesome. Thank you guys both for taking the time to do this today. It's awesome to talk with experts in the field and people that really understand what's going on out there for the real estate photography business owners, and just bringing that value and trying to just being open and sharing it with people. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys both for being here today. I'm sure everybody loved it.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, or having me on. I think Lindsay had a good time.
Yes, this was fun. It's a lot of good information, like a lot of great, even for people who do this all day. I mean, it's a lot of great information. Hopefully you take and feel motivated and go get out on social media.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and I hope everybody has a great day and go do that 30-day post challenge. Do it.
That's right. Just do it.